Hi muckers, hi. I just dropped my camera on my new tattoo and I'm in a lot of pain right now. I don't advise that. It is like gonna swell because of just that. So that's not my favorite thing in the world at all. So basically I just got a new tattoo today. Let me show you it. It is of a statue of like inner child, and then there's like an inner like, I don't know if you can see this, but there's a little baby here, and it's a very famous sculpture, and the reason I wanted to get it was because I'm so fascinated by like inner child and getting back to your inner child. And if you don't know what that means, it's basically sorry, I'm like really want to tell you something else at the same time, so let me tell you that. If you watched my live stream on my main channel where I was doing a live stream at Heathrow Airport and this random woman came up and started like basically harassing the stream, I'm in the exact same spot. I literally came here just to film this, so like it's nostalgic from last week. So anyway, I got this tattoo, and inner child is basically your perception on the world and your favorite things before it was tarnished by the world, you know what I mean? The older we get, the more we grow up, the more we change our opinions on things, the more we change different reality perceptions that we have to kind of fit the norm and fit the social like awareness around us, or at least that's what I take from it. And so my inner child is, you know, loving like pop girls and being so excited to just be in nature and being so excited and content to just be by myself with animals, and it was important to highlight that in some way to me. But I got it today, literally a couple hours ago, and it's been wrapped up ever since for a couple hours, and normally you keep them wrapped up for a while, and the reason for that is because I'm actually hating this angle. Let me put this down here. The reason you keep it... Hi. This is a horrid angle right now. I apologize. I'm just like... That's better. I'm just like in an airport, so it's very awkward when workers are walking past and I have a camera set up on my suitcase. It looks very sketchy. I'm also having Starburst. So I loved the idea and like study behind inner child, so I got it in London today at 2 p.m. and it was done at like 5 p.m. and it wrapped up in this like extra skin. So if you get a tattoo, they wrap you up in this like extra skin for the healing process and stuff. However, today I decided that my flight home, I was supposed to be flying home today, right? And plans for that fell through tremendously. Basically, my original flight got cancelled, which is fine, you can work around that. It's not the end of the world. However, I was going back for like 2 of my friends' birthdays, and because the flights were cancelled, there was new flight times, and the new flight times were great. They were actually more convenient, but the flight prices were horrid, and I couldn't justify spending that amount of money. It was working out at £320 one way from London Gatwick to Belfast, and I was like, I'm doing that one way for like a trip for like, no offense, but I love my friends, for like their birthday. It's a lot of money. I wouldn't even do it for my birthday. I wouldn't ask anyone to do it for my birthday, so I didn't do that, right? Because that was one way, so a return would be like 500. So I was really pissed off that that fell through, and I didn't want to have a breakdown over it because I've been on edge recently, so it would be very easy for me to do that. So instead, I'm sitting, getting the tattoo done by this lovely woman, very talented, very talented. And I am like, I really wanted to go back to Paris. And the reason for this was because I feel that I had a lot of personal growth whenever I took myself on the solo trip to Paris last week. And it wasn't the longest trip in the world. It was 3 nights, 4 days. And I feel like I was, wanting something more out of it, in terms of I wished I was there for 2 more days. So it's always been a thing where I've been like, right, I really wish I was there for longer. I didn't book for longer because I didn't know if I was going to enjoy it or not. However, I really did enjoy it, and whenever I tell you guys, like, I don't mean it just being like Paris or whatever like that, but it was very beautiful, and I was eating healthy every day, and I was eating a lot every day, which is great for me because I've talked about like food struggles and stuff in the past. I was like eating the most there. I was very healthy. I like just was very positive, and everything was very positive when I was there. So it's less so about the place. I completely get that, but it was just a solo trip somewhere on my own or whatever. And I really feel like I made such progress that I wanted to do that again before my birthday. Now my birthday is the 30th of September, so in 2 weeks time. And sorry, by the way, that is not COVID. I got tested for COVID, and negative. You have to get tested to fly, and negative. I just have very weak lungs and stuff nowadays from having COVID months ago. And I can cough at the slightest thing, which is horrible. So, for my birthday, I'm going to Austria, which is random. It's very random. Now, the reason I'm going to Austria is because Bonnie Tyler is doing a concert on my birthday, like my actual birthday, 30th of September. And normally I wouldn't have jumped at it. You know how much I love Bonnie Tyler, like literally all I want to go to is another Bonnie Tyler concert. But it was in Austria and it was a bit weird. The reason I jumped at it was because I don't necessarily want to celebrate my birthday this year. Like I don't want an event with friends, an event with my family, like a dinner. I feel like would make me quite uncomfortable. I love my family, but just, I don't know, I'm like, 19 is a weird age, and I get that I'm very young and I get like that, but it's like 18's exciting and 20's exciting, but 19's just there. So I've been kind of feeling in the dumps about it, but nothing that deep. So I saw this concert and I was like, this is a great opportunity for me to go to something, and then if people are like, what are you doing for your birthday? I'm like, I'm doing this. And my mom is now coming, which is great. My mom is coming to the concert with me. We're sitting at 2 very different tables, still in the front row, but 2 very different tables because I booked hers. Like, she wanted to come, and I was like, great, that'd be great. And I had to book them way after I booked mine. So that's for my birthday. But I really wanted to do Paris before my birthday because I wanted to take myself away and do what I had done for the exact same amount of time now. And obviously I've done most of the touristy things I wanted to see, so it would just be like even more of the forced to spend time with yourself, forced to go out to restaurants by yourself, forced to go out to cafes by yourself. And I mean, you can do that anywhere. You can do that in Brighton, where I'm, living, in London, or whatever. However, I've been struggling with appreciating living in Brighton recently, very much so. But whenever I came back from Paris, I had a completely different outlook on Brighton, where I was like, I'm really grateful to be here, and what beautiful cafes, and I can do the things I was doing in Paris here. It really, really, really did so much for me mentally, like just getting out. And I was sitting in the tattoo chair, sorry for rambling, but we're here to ramble. Sitting in the tattoo chair, and I looked up flights for Paris, just out of the whim. And flights to Paris leaving the night of I was getting the tattoo, so now return flights for like 4 days was working out cheaper than going home. Now, isn't that ridiculous? Flying from London to France is working out cheaper for return flights than one flight to Belfast, which isn't even in Derry. So, it's ridiculous. So, either way, I just jumped at it, I booked it. It was very spontaneous. I got the animals booked in. They're having a great time. I had a very bittersweet moment with the animals today where I was like just like hugging them and crying, just because I really love those dogs so much. I could cry, like I could literally like start to tear up thinking about it. I really love those girls. But one thing that being away taught me, and I wonder if any pet owners out there feel this, I'm barely chewing them, I'm just fucking swallowing them whole. I love my girls so much, my 2 dogs. They're literally my best friends. They are the most consistent thing in my life right now, literally. Sometimes I just feel like, you know, if less so now, but I mean more so like a couple months ago, like whenever I'm doing the same routine with them every single day, I start to stop appreciating life. And that's kind of deep. But whenever I'm like, you know, we wake up at this time, we go potty at this time, like, and this is like about my routine. Like, this isn't me talking about specifically the dogs. This is me being like my home routine. So my home routine is very much so with the dogs. You know, we go to the beach, then we go to the dog park later on in the day, then, you know, and it's all great activities. But my life is so structured around structure these days, and I live the same day every single day, and I love it, and I love, you know, doing all of those things with the dogs and stuff like that. But sometimes I just feel like to still very much so appreciate that, I need to take like a breather for like a weekend or something like that, where, you know, I'm able to get the dogs booked into literally 5-star care, like 5-star care. Like, those bitches are going on a holiday every time I go away. Book them in for a weekend to get looked after, and then I come back feeling refreshed. I come back feeling so much more like excited about life, and it doesn't really have anything to do with going to like a beautiful country or anything like that. I'm sure it does, you know what I mean, but it's like doing something that's quite intimidating on your own. So that's where I'm at with that. So I've booked this. The hotel that I stayed at last week, I actually don't know whenever I was in Paris the 7th to the 10th of September. It's now the 17th, so like 10 days ago. So 10 days ago I was staying at this hotel, and I was contemplating whether to book that one again or whether to book a different one. I was struggling to find a different kind of hotel that I liked, and I just booked the same hotel. I literally booked the same hotel. They had one room available that I wanted. Like, you know, there's like different tiers of rooms. The one that I wanted, there was only one more of it available, so I jumped on that shit. So that's great. I'm such a creature of habit that everything I seem to do in life, I live in a deja vu. I coincidentally booked the exact same flight time as I did 10 days ago, like on that flight, and my return flights, coincidentally, without thinking, are the exact same times and the exact same flight number as like the last time, and same hotel. I did the same journey here, like getting the same like Uber at like a certain station and going on the tube underground system for I'm such a creature of habit, and it just makes me feel comfortable. It really makes me feel comfortable being consistent. And don't get me wrong, I feel like we can apply this to anyone's life. You can apply it to someone with you where it's like, does consistency make you feel comfortable or uncomfortable? If you're watching this, please answer that in the comments. God, my it's so annoying because it's like I've fully recovered and I feel so fine, but just I feel like I have the like breathing ability of an old person or like a smoker of 60 years. It's very frustrating. And so anyway, I want to know if it makes you feel comfortable or uncomfortable, because I feel like that can tell you a lot about a person. I feel like it can make me feel a little bit of both, but I feel like consistency more so makes me feel comfortable, but it'll make me feel comfortable for a very long time, and then one day I'll wake up and it will make me feel the most uncomfortable anything has ever made me feel in my entire life. I can't explain it. I can't explain it. Very weird. I want to ask if you have any show recommendations for me. I would love to watch them. I really want to start watching things again. I know that's Sex Ed on Netflix. If you haven't seen it, it's a fabulous show, fabulous. The new season comes out today, and I will be watching that in one sitting. It is honestly the most amazing show. I honestly will probably do like a video on here talking about it. It's just such a forward-thinking show that is incredibly inclusive and relatable, especially for someone my age, and I would love to sit down and talk about that. So maybe I'll talk about the new season or whatever like that. So if you're watching this right now, make sure to go watch Sex Ed on Netflix, catch up on the seasons that are already out and watch the new one. And I mean, there's your warning, working on a video on it apparently. But yeah, I want to know if you're watching anything good right now. I always say that and people are like, okay, but what do you watch? Like, what kind of stuff do you enjoy? I enjoy TV shows over movies. I don't know why. I enjoy sometimes documentaries. I weirdly like horror these days. I weirdly like horror movies these days, not like horror TV shows. Oh my god. Either I'm going insane or I'm hearing a siren. I don't know about that. So, yeah, I mean, what other kind of shows do I like? I like shows, this is like me not even talking about the themes, I like shows that don't have episodes longer than like 40 minutes. If a show has an episode that's over an hour long, watch now, like Sex Ed has episodes like that. Even at that, if it does, episodes of shows that are longer than an hour really are pushing it for me. They're really, really, really pushing it. So, just give me your recommendations. A lot of people are like, oh, like, if you haven't seen this, just assume I haven't. Just assume I haven't. Just assume the comment section haven't. Sell it to us. Why do we need to watch this show? Why is it so good? And if you have movie recommendations, movie are a bit more broad, but you can definitely let me know. I really want to start watching some Halloween stuff soon. I really want to get in the Halloween spirit, and I will definitely be wanting to sit down and have a conversation with you pretty soon about how can we get in the Halloween spirit, because I want to be in it this year. And we are coming up on the end of September, which is absolutely insane, into October, and this is the incredibly festive part of the year, which is October, November, December, best time of year. Even though I loved summer this year, I don't know about you, let me know below. Did you enjoy summer this year? I enjoyed summer this year more so than any other year. which is interesting because this summer was probably my loneliest summer. And that's kind of sad to say, but like, this summer was the summer I like seen the least amount of people. So, I mean, either way, it was still fun. So, let me know, and we'll talk about it below. And yeah, I'm gonna go eat this, so, hold on. Sorry, there was workers, I got very uncomfortable. No, so, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in a bit. Bye.